Okay, and we are live. Welcome everyone to our first ever YouTube live event and tweet and talk for OnEd Student Chat. For those of you who are new to the chat, OnEd Student Chat is a student-led Twitter chat that it connects K-12 students across Ontario to discuss topics related to character education, social justice, and citizenship. OnEd Student Chat creates opportunities for students to network with others, gain perspective, build relationships with new learning partners in a literacy-rich learning environment, experience social media as a powerful platform for learning, and establish a positive digital footprint. So I am going to turn things over to Jennifer now, who's going to explain how you can join us in conversation today, either using YouTube or Twitter. Jen?
Thank you. So good morning, everyone. My name is Jennifer Castle-Todd. I'm a teacher librarian in Aurora, Canada. So excited for you to be here for this great event and so thrilled with the amazing student panelists we have here. So we would love for you to be involved, and there are a couple of ways to do that. If you are on our Twitter, you are certainly welcome to respond with either questions or ideas using the hashtag ONEDSS chat, or the handle, that's the @ ONEDSS chat. We'd also love your comments live on YouTube. So in order to do that, if you're on our website, it gives you the option to view live on YouTube. And if you click on that and you watch live on YouTube, you'll notice that on the right-hand side, there is a comment form. Please make use of that if there's something that resonates with you or if you'd like to ask a question. I know that the moderators will be checking both the Twitter feed and the YouTube live feed to make sure that you are all participating. And with that, I'm going to send you back to Leigh Castle, and she's going to introduce the panelists.
Wonderful. All right, so we're each going to take a moment just to introduce ourselves so you can get to know the OnEd Student Chat team. And I'm going to start with our incredible student leads. And Sam, you're next to my window, so I'm going to start with you.
Hi, I'm Sam. I go to school at North Perth Westfield Elementary School in Listowel. I'm in grade 7, and yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. Okay. All right, and next I'm going to call on Nigel and Lindsay, please.
All right, I'm Nigel Clemente Chwaglisevich. I go to Clarington Central Secondary School in Clarington, Ontario. Did I already mention that I'm in grade 12? I'm in grade 12. Yeah, I'm really into languages and stuff. And here's Lindsay.
And I'm Lindsay Keene. I also go to Clarington Central Secondary School, quite obviously. I have a very special job within my school board, Kawartha Pine Ridge District School Board. I am the student trustee, one of the two. So I get to associate with the 32,000 students in the board. I get to represent them on a daily basis and take their ideas and their thoughts to our board meetings. So that's what I'm doing, and that's one of the reasons that I'm here. And I'm very excited to be here to see what the students want, what you guys think, and I can share that and take that onward.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Ella.
Hi, I'm Ella. I go to school with Sam at North Perth Westfield Elementary School in Listowel, and we're in grade 7, and I'm really excited to be a part of this team.
Great. Thanks, Ella. And Austin.
Hi, everyone. My name is Austin Gagne. I am a grade 10 student in Ridgetown, Ontario, and I am very excited that I am part of this amazing team we have today.
Awesome. Little shout out to Austin, who's presenting at BIT this year. Might be the best session that you attend. So just a little heads up on that. And now I'm going to turn things over to Rylan. If you could introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Rylan. I'm 13. I go to Howick, and I'm in grade 8. And I'm excited to be here.
Amazing. Thank you. So these are our incredibly talented, dedicated, committed, outstanding group of student leaders who are driving everything going on in OnEd Student Chat. So welcome. And now I'm going to introduce the teachers who are supporting the work. I'll start with you, Brock.
Hey everyone, it's great being here. So my name is Brock Baker. I work with Nigel and Lindsay at the Clarington Central Secondary School, and it's great to be here. I'm excited for the talk today.
Awesome. Thanks, Brock. And Jennifer?
So I already told you a little bit about myself, but I do want to add that I am so excited about the fact that this is one of a kind, really. We're Connecting Ontario students. We have an amazing group of leaders. I'm passionate about student voice and empowering students to do good using social media. So this is very, very exciting for me. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Jennifer. And I want to give a shout out to Allison Fuse and Nicole Kaufman, who aren't able to join us live here, but who are working away in the back channels. Really happy to be a part of the conversations going on Twitter and YouTube. And finally, I would like to introduce Madison, who's here joining us as well. Go ahead, Madison. Oh, are you there, Madison? Can you introduce yourself?
I am now.
Perfect.
Hi guys, I am.
Oh, we lost Madison. Okay, I'm Madison Yearwood is here joining us also. She's an intern working with me this year, and she is very interested to see how this whole OnEd student chat piece comes together, as we are also excited to see how it unfolds. My name is Leigh Castle. I am founder and president of the Digital Human Library and founder of OnEd Student Chat here. I'm also a teaching and learning coach with the Avon-Maitland District School Board, and proud to have two AMDSB students here on panel. And without further ado, I would like to turn things over to Lindsay and Nigel, who are going to share some of the tweet and talk norms our student leads have come up with today. Lindsay and Nigel?
Okay, so we're just going to go over a few of the things that we expect, we want to see here in this chat in order to make things go smoothly, positively, productively. So Nigel's going to start us off.
All right, so the first norm that we have is that the chat is open to grades K to 12. So please keep that in mind, use language that everyone can understand and build on, and use age-appropriate language as well.
Another one is that we would like and encourage active participation. So don't be afraid to tweet out or share on YouTube Live any ideas you may have or what you're thinking.
All comments made should be positive and productive. So think before you speak, share your ideas, and we can't wait to hear them.
And finally, everyone is absolutely entitled to their own opinion. You may not agree with something someone has said, but we do ask that when challenging an idea, you respectfully disagree with the idea, not the individual person.
And now I'm sending this over to Rylan to introduce the first question.
All right, so our first question is, what makes you unique?
Okay, so I now want to open it up to all of our students on panel. I'm not sure who would like to start things off, but what makes you unique? Thanks, Rylan. All right, I'm going to have to call on somebody because we've got this moment of silence here. So I'm going to actually turn things back over to, I'm going to go to Nigel and Lindsay because there are two of you in the same space. So I think between the two of you, there's got to be something incredible there waiting to be shared.
All right, well, what makes me unique? I don't know, I think one thing that sets me apart from a lot of people is my willingness to talk about things and stand out. I'm always going off about different languages and stuff, which other people are probably sick to death of, but it's okay. Just my interests and who I am, and just being willing to embrace that.
So good. What makes me unique? Oh, that's a very good question. It's very difficult to think about it on the spot. I think one of the things that makes me unique is what I get involved in, and the fact that I'm such a big advocate for student involvement, and that I love to see everyone else getting involved. I try to get into as much as I possibly can. I'm an anchor on announcements in the morning, to Minister of Records and Student Gov, to acting in theater productions, and all that great stuff that I love to do. I think all adds up and makes me very unique.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm going to go to Austin next.
Okay, so one of the things that makes me unique, as Leigh mentioned in my introduction after I talked, is I go around and do presentations at various conferences about how to use coding in teachings, and I think it's really important that we keep up with that as we have new technologies evolving.
Excellent, excellent. Ella, do you have something you could share?
What makes me unique is basically how I act. I'm very outgoing, as most people say, and that's what makes me unique, is because I'm not afraid to speak what I think is right and stand up for what I believe in.
Excellent. I love that inner strength, right? That courage to stand up for yourself and be your own self-advocate. Rylin.
I think what makes me unique is that I know every song that you could ever think of. I'm very, I know a lot of music and stuff, so I feel like that makes me very unique.
Excellent. And how about you, Sam?
What I think makes me unique is that I really like to do a lot of coding in my spare time, and some people might not, and I think that's just what makes me unique.
Okay, excellent. Does anyone else have anything to add before we roll along? I don't know, Brock or Jennifer or Madison, did you want to share something that you feel makes you unique? Brock's saying no.
I do have a few results from Twitter. We have some amazing singers. We've got kids who are good at sports. That's from Miss Evoy's class. We've got a class tweeter in Hartman's Eagles, and his or her personality makes them unique. I love this. I be myself, and being smart makes me unique. So thank you for the contributions from Twitter.
Excellent. All right. Anything else we'd like to add? Okay. If there's nothing else to share from either YouTube or Twitter, why don't I'll turn things back over to you, Rylin, and you can introduce our next question.
Okay, so our next question is, do you feel the need to change who you are around others? Why?
All right. Who would like to weigh in on that question first? All right. Lindsay is ready to go.
Nigel is.
All right. I would say that I do change myself based on who I'm around, just so I can communicate myself more effectively. I don't change every aspect of who I am. I stay true to who I am. But in order to communicate better, I like to adjust how other people see the world and say things from their point of view.
Yeah, I agree. But when I was younger, I used to be different. I used to pretend I didn't like things that I liked to fit in with my friend group, or vice versa. I pretend to like things that I didn't like, sort of thing. But now that I've gotten into high school, I've met new people. I've gotten to become more of the person that I've wanted to be. And I'm very similar to Nigel, in which I will use different language. I'll take different stances to try and understand what other people are thinking, but I'm very in tune with myself now compared to a few years ago, for sure.
And if I can just ask a question, I know, Austin, you're ready to go. I'm curious to know why you made those decisions to act differently now that you've had time to reflect on who you were then and who you are now. I'm wondering what your why was.
Absolutely. My why was mostly the lack of people that I felt I could associate with in my elementary school. I went from a very small class size to a larger class size, and more extracurriculars in high school, where I met more people that I could interact with. When I was in elementary school, there was less of that. So if I wanted to make friends, I had to kind of hide who I was to kind of stay with a friend group, opposed to now when I can really be who I am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, did you want to add anything, Nigel?
Yeah, kind of. When I was in elementary school, I tended to stay more true to myself no matter what. And through a lot of the years there, that resulted in me having little to no friends at all. But it built up a lot of confidence, and it gave me a lot of time to explore who I actually am. And it's turned out pretty well, because now I have more friends than I can count, and I'm quite happy about that.
And you're leading an Ontario student Twitter chat.
There you
go. Amazing. Right on. All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn things over to Austin, and following Austin, we'll hear from Rylin.
So going into high school, I'm definitely the person that I actually am, and I'm not trying to be somebody else. But in elementary school, like Lindsay said, I was definitely trying to be someone else to fit in with everybody. And when I got into high school and I realized there's a lot more people, and I've realized that I need to be who I actually am and not try to fit in with everybody else.
Okay, thank you, Austin. All right, Rylan.
So I can't really connect with like Lindsay and Nigel and Austin because I'm not in high school yet, but I definitely feel like I'm more myself around my parents than I am with my friends and people at school, because I feel like people at school judge you a little bit more than what your parents do. So it's not a drastic change between me, but I definitely am different around other people.
And so I'd like to ask you the same question that I asked Nigel and Lindsay. Why do you think that is? Why do you act differently around certain groups of friends as opposed to others?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just scared of like the criticism that I'll get from my friends and then my parents and all that.
Okay, Ella or Sam, did you want to jump in?
Okay. Same with Rylan. I can't really connect with others that are in high school because I'm not in high school yet. But I mean, like, there's definitely a slight change. But when I'm around my best friends, I don't change as much as I do when I'm around, like, just regular friends.
And so why do you feel that you can be yourself around your best friends?
I think it's because I just know them, and I know that nothing like will get in the way of like how they judge me, because they won't judge me because they know me.
Yeah, well, and there's that element of trust there too, right? I think that's something that
Yeah.
we've kind of been talking about, but not necessarily named here. That when we spend time with our best friends, we feel safe because we trust those people and we trust them to allow us to be who we are. And I think that we've talked, several of you have talked about that whole idea of feeling judged, and we don't feel judged when we're hanging around or spending time with people that we're close with. Sam, did you want to jump in now?
I can it's similar as well for me as it was for Ella. I can be myself around my best friends and maybe not as much around some just friends. So, yeah.
Just realized I was talking without my mic on. Thank you so much. Jennifer or Brock, do you want to bring in some of this amazing conversation going on Twitter right now?
Well, I don't know that I can keep up, but I love Nakina Public School, 7B at Westfield, and NPSS geography class. Lots of really great responses, but in particular, a couple of really strong personalities who say they don't want to change who they are, and that if people don't accept who they are, they just aren't friends with them. And I think that's such incredible confidence for people so young. So I think that's awesome. Brock, not sure if you have anything else.
Yeah, yes, I had a similar experience with Westfield. There's a really great response here. It says, I feel like I do not need to change when I'm around different people because different people comprehend differently. So they do need to change, and because some people take what they say a bit differently and are a bit more empathetic. So great responses on Twitter. Keep it coming. We'll try to keep up.
Amazing. Does anyone else have anything to add before we move on to, we're almost out of time, but I would like to just introduce that last question that we have and start the conversation and allow that to continue on once we're finished up here. Okay, nothing else to add. So Rylan, if you want to introduce that third question, and we'll just start the conversation and then let it continue afterwards.
All right, so our third question is, how can we celebrate our differences?
Okay, so this is a big question. I'm really excited to see where this leads. Is there anyone on the team here that would like to start? How do we celebrate our differences? Ella, was that your hand, or we just?
Yeah, it was.
Perfect. So you go ahead, Ella, and then we'll have Lindsay and Nigel next.
I think that we could celebrate our differences by just being ourselves in front of people that you don't really know, because even if you don't really know them, you won't see them again, so it won't make any difference. And I mean, like, you won't see them again, so if you don't be yourself, then they're just going to know you as the person that's not themselves.
Excellent point. All right, Nigel and Lindsay.
All right. How I think we can celebrate our differences is just encourage your friends to explain their differences and encourage them to express them. And just honestly, just celebrate that. Just tell people how proud you are of them for doing their own thing. Like, one of my friends texted me last night and said, like, hey, just teach me something. Like, you know a lot of things, just teach me something cool. And it just made me so happy because it gave me an opportunity to share what I love. And it feels good.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And also, if you have something that you're interested in, do it. And that's one of the biggest ways to celebrate your differences is by making them known. So if you're interested in music, join band. If you're interested in sports, join a team. If you're interested in being around the school, join council, government, stuff like that. Don't be afraid to do what you love, because that's what makes you unique, and that's how you celebrate who you are.
Absolutely. I have goosebumps. I'm loving this conversation right now. I don't know who else, Sam or Austin? Would love for you to weigh in.
I can go.
Perfect, Rylan, excellent.
I feel like the way you should celebrate your differences is be true to yourself. If, like what Lindsay said, like if you like music, join band. If you like sports, join a team. Like, the best way to celebrate your differences is definitely connect yourself and be true to who you are.
Excellent. All right, Austin.
I agree with what Rylan said. If you like coding, then go join some club at the school or whatever you're interested in. You need to join something along those lines. And don't hide that you are happy about your differences, so just celebrate them.
I couldn't agree more. And I love that everyone is encouraging people to get involved in things that make them happy, because that is ultimately where you're going to meet those people that inspire you and make you feel best about being you. Sam, did you want to weigh in?
Yeah, I agree with everybody else. If you have something you're really passionate about, go do it. Like, if you want to do band, go do band. And, like, just go do what you want to do.
And that, I think, is a great way to start to wrap things up today. I love that. Be who you are and do what you want to do, right? I think that's excellent advice from our student lead panel here. And Brock or Jennifer, is there anything else on Twitter around this question that you want to maybe introduce to give people something to think about and continue chatting about as we wrap things up?
I do need to shout out to Mr. Cave and Desi for participating in the YouTube chat. There hasn't been as much activity there. But certainly I would say respond to one another. There's a couple of classes here that have some incredible responses. So it'd be great if you're in your class to go back to the feed and respond to one another, because this isn't just a one-way thing. The panel discussion has been amazing, and I think the next step would be go back and respond, because there's been some great conversation that I know I can't keep up with.
Yeah. Brock, anything else happening on Twitter that you want to share here? Lindsay has one more thing she'd like to add before we wrap things up.
No, we can go to Lindsay and then we'll wrap things up.
Okay, perfect. Lindsay, go ahead.
So I'm kind of looking in at the Twitter while we're talking, and I saw one thing from a school, and they said we should celebrate our differences by doing, a differences day, by showing people what we're interested in. And it made me think, I had my first board meeting last month, and we had a young student come in, and her family were refugees from Syria, and she wanted to get her class to know about her culture and where she comes from. So she made everyone in her class food from Syria and that her family made. And that's one of the best ways to celebrate your differences, is by bringing them and sharing them with other people, which I just thought was so sweet. So that's just, guess, some food for thought, pun intended. So.
Yes, well played. What a fantastic way to wrap things up here for us. Thank you so much to all of our students here. I'm going to turn things over to Brock, who's going to close things off. Thanks, Brock.
Yeah, no problem. I just want to thank everybody for joining us on this historic event, our first Tweet and Talk with Ontario Education Student Chat. And I just wanted to remind you of all the cool things that we got coming up right now. So next Tuesday, same time, 9:30, October 17th, we have the K-6 chat. That'll be taking place then. So if you any elementary teachers that are involved right now, spread the word. And then a week after that, on Tuesday, October 24th, we have our 7 to 12 chats. And that's going to take place at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 p.m., and 1 p.m. So every hour, just about during the day, for our high school and grade 7 and 8 chats, which is going to be great. And like Leigh was saying and Jen was saying, we have a slow chat all month long. So follow the hashtag and get involved. So there's so many great responses and so many great ways to connect with each other. So yeah, definitely get involved with that. Last but not least, where to find us. Spread the news everywhere you can. Our website at onedSSchat.com and at Twitter at onedSS.chat. So it's been a wonderful day, and I hope everybody will be back for the chat next week. And yeah, if not, we'll see you in a month.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Brock. And thank you, everyone, for joining us here on panel. And for all of you that joined us on Twitter today, we are looking forward to continuing the conversation over the rest of the month. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
Thanks, everyone. Great job.